Guys, so we're just going to do another 6-week programming overview for WOD programming. Just to kind of say at the start, if you guys have got any questions about anything that we say, please do comment below and we'll do our best to get back to you as soon as possible. The first thing we wanted to start with was tell you guys that there's going to be quite a significant CrossFit Classic workout that's geared towards strength. So we're going to do the CrossFit Total. It's one of those things, it's awesome to do and get the data on Wodify, okay? So we just want to give a bit of background behind that.
So CrossFit Total, if you don't know, you're going to have a chance to test your 1RM back squat, 1RM strict press and 1RM deadlift. So super cool. Everyone loves these strength days testing. You've probably seen over the last 12 weeks or so, we spent a ton of time squatting and pressing and deadlifting, along with a lot of other movements, like a lot of single leg work, things that are all going to help get you really, really strong. So hopefully you can take all that hard work that you've done over the last 12 weeks and put it into the total, see where you're at.
Exactly, and what's really interesting is actually the way that the strength has been formatted. You may have noticed it, but it's kind of, there's every 2 minutes, every 2.5 minutes, which actually means that you've got to slow down a little bit and you make sure that you give yourself enough rest to go as hard in the next set. So you actually get more out of the workout because you're adhering to the rest. As CrossFitters, I'm sure you guys can identify that if someone puts 4 sets of 5 back squats, you'll probably load up and have it done within 8 minutes. But actually, sometimes that needs to take almost 15 to 20 minutes.
I think that goes with everything as well that we do, isn't it? Like, you'll see almost all of our practice days have built-in rest. A lot of the time that built-in rest is there just so that you can really concentrate on your movement, but sometimes that built-in rest is in there to keep the intensity a little bit high. You'll notice that sometimes, say for instance, we do like a 3-minute AMRAP with a 3-minute rest in between, you're going to be able to go way harder in those 3 minutes with 3 minutes rest after, compared to if it was just like a 6-minute AMRAP. So don't always think just because there's some built-in rest there that it's going to be a little bit easier, because it's not always the case.
Exactly. And when it comes to that rest period, it's really important that we talk about how you can maximize that rest. So you might see and hear and get instructed by some coaches to maximize your rest by including a very slow movement pattern, like some squats. We call them recovery squats. This is just to keep you guys moving a bit and flushing out any of the metabolites that are accumulating in your body, but also it increases the amount of time and the tension in not too much of a stressful way, so that you actually maximize the amount of time and increase your fitness a little bit quicker. One thing we wanted to pick out, again, back onto that CrossFit Total thing, is you'll see that there's a lot of themes running in block by block. So what I mean by that is at the end of this block, in the 6-week block, we've got some shoulder to overhead stuff. That feeds straight into this next block coming up. So lots of continuity, lots of simple, effective rep schemes that you guys can get your teeth into. And obviously, as Tom points to, we can maintain the quality, we can maintain the intensity. Okay, so that's where we're at there.
You might also notice, before we do a benchmark, the movements that we'll have in that benchmark a couple of weeks before, we'll often have those movements in a practice day, so that you can come in, you can spend a ton of time practicing those movements, and then hopefully by the time those movements come around in the actual workouts, you'll be able to go with a little bit more intensity because you know what you're doing. So an example of that is we've got the workouts that you voted on, which is super cool. So we've got Memento in week 5, which is a lot of hang power cleans and shoulder to overhead. So on the Monday of week 3 in the next block, we've got a workout where we're going to be focusing loads and loads on those movements. We've then got Dotter in there as well. You're going to be practicing your bar muscle ups in week 1 of the next block as well. So hopefully you can get to those sessions, have a good practice on what you're going to be doing, and then you can take them on and do them with a little bit more intensity in our benchmark pace.
Yeah, exactly. If you, what we'll do is we'll link to the programming philosophy document below this as well, and you can read about that. That is actually intentional, that at practice days, 50% of what you do in your benchmark workouts, they should really be in the practice days, and we've made that happen this time. It's not just those days that Tom shouted out there that you'll be able to get better for those workouts, but definitely, you're going to see elements of them throughout the whole programming. That's really, really important. So yeah, thanks to everyone who voted on the poll. It was pretty, we were blown away genuinely that
cool.
all of you guys got so involved with the programming. We really want that, guys. So if you have got any feedback for us, you know, we are very open, we are very adaptable, and we want to hear from you, okay? A little bit more on practice days, just very quickly, just to finish this video. We wanted to do quite like a succinct video. We wanted to talk about sometimes in the programming, we may have format, it could be something like an every minute on the minute for 30 minutes, so a big chunk. We'll have a few exercises. So for example, we've got here one on the screen in front of us, which is Turkish get-ups, Bulgarian split squats, bent over kettlebell rows, and some shuttle runs. And it's not a very sexy workout at all. However, Tom, I just want you to elaborate a little bit more on why potentially people should come to a workout like that, and what is the benefit and the intent behind it.
I mean, on a lot of these practice days where sometimes we are slowing things down a bit and we're really asking you to concentrate on your movement. Like obviously some of the benchmark days where you're going hard, we still expect you to move really well, but sometimes things can go over a little bit and it won't necessarily be like 100% perfect. On these practice days, what we're looking for is 100% perfect movement. So we're going to have a lot of things like single leg stuff. We always add in a lot of rotation. It's not something that we do enough of in CrossFit. It's really good for injury prevention. Yeah. So if you want to continue to train, you know, most days, like you crazy people do, like 2-3 times a day sometimes, you need to add these movements in, like single leg work, rotation, also balancing out like the pull-in work you do. We do loads and loads of pull-ups and muscle-ups and stuff in CrossFit, so we need to make sure that we're pulling this way as much as we pull that way. We have a lot of that in our practice days as well. So sometimes if you see a workout doesn't look very sexy, doesn't look very exciting, and that's probably the first one that you should be going to. So we'll set you a little challenge of when you see a workout that you're like, oh, that doesn't look great, doesn't look that fun, go to it, and I promise you'll have more fun than you think you will do. It's
so true. So guys, that's it. That's where we're going to leave it for today. Again, like we said, if you've got comments, if you want to give us feedback, if you just want to say, hey, like that's really cool with us as well, please just drop the comments below, and we hope you enjoyed the video. Share it, tag your mates in it, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you next time.